some valleys, I've walked through some darkness, waded through rivers of grief. Oh, the enemy told me that I was forsaken, no one was fighting for me. But I didn't make it this far on my own, though often my strength is all gone. The hands of the Savior keep holding me up. His promise of help is my song. If God is for me, who can stand against me? No weapon shall prosper when God's on my side. If it's just me and Jesus, I can't be defeated when my God is with me.
Good night, Antigua Barbuda. Let me say good night to our Caribbean neighbors, all locked into ZDK Liberty Radio, a 97.1 FM.
He may be called.
Let me say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis. Hey, good night to Anguilla.
Places
Hey, Montserrat.
think you can't go,
Hey, good night to Dominica. Haven't heard much as to what's happening with the weather down there.
and you'll never make
If anybody have any information, they could WhatsApp me.
in this fight.
464-4201. Let me say good night to St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines,
Restored it down.
Barbados,
Just remember,
Grenada, Guyana.
He's always.
Hey, good night also to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, He's never failed me, and He never will. And the
Yeah, we're going through some trying times now with the weather. Hey, let's hope that everybody keep as safe as they can.
if God is for,
Hey, right now things are happening down south of us.
who can stand
Let's keep them in our prayers.
against me?
Good night to those who have joined us via the World Wide Web. You might have joined on via the website. Hey, that's www.radiozdk.com. Oh, you very well. Hey, you might have gotten through via Facebook Live.
Jesus,
Hey, at ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1. Hey, talking about Facebook Live. Let me just do something here.
when my God is with me, I've got the victory every time. Yeah. If God is for me, who can stand against me? No weapon shall prosper when God's on my side. When God's on my side. If it's just me and Jesus, I can't be defeated. When my God is with me, I've got the victory every time. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I've seen some valleys, I've walked through some darkness, rivers of grief. Oh, the enemy told me that I was forsaken, no one was fighting for me. But I didn't make it this far on my own, though often my strength is all gone. The hands of the Savior keep holding me up. His promise of help is my song. If God is for me, who can stand against me? No weapon shall prosper.
The scripture that covered tonight's program is taken from the book of Colossians. Colossians chapter 3. verses 23 and 24. And it reads, And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord, and not unto men, knowing that knowing that the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ. Let me just do that again. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord, and not unto men, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ.
And you'll never.
The word of God coming to us from the book of Colossians. Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 and 24.
But if it's a choice,
Let me say a very good night, a special good night to Miss Patricia Gums.
just remember
Hey, how you doing, Miss Gums?
what he's always.
I hope and trust that all is going good.
He's never failed me, and he never will. And the battle is already won.
Let me say good night to my little sister and her family. That's Nicole and her family over there in the Mount Pleasant area.
Can stand again.
Hey, good night to my other sisters. Hey, good night, Bridget.
No
Hey, good night, Nola.
shall cry
Hey, my brother, the man DJ Governor Slim.
when
Hey, what's up, King?
my side.
Hey, my many, many nieces, especially Joanne.
If it's just
Hey, Denise. And good night, Bernadette.
her,
Hope and trust that all is going good.
I can't be defeated.
Hey, good night also to my nephews. Hey, what's up, Zion?
When my God
Aston.
with me,
Big up yourself, big up yourself.
I got victory every time.
And my many, many, many cousins, especially cousin Annette Brown over there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Me told
And not forgetting cousin Halima Thomas in Orlando, Florida.
no one,
Let me just say a special good night to my second mom. That's Sister Jean Golston.
but I did
Hey, condolences, man.
this far on my own.
Right back here in Antigua,
Turn my strength
over in the Nut Grove area.
all gone.
Let me say good night. Hey, good night, Loretta.
Keep
Hey, that's Loretta Hunt.
me up.
Hey, hope and trust that all is going good.
Of help is my
Hey, not forgetting Cassie.
song.
Hey, how you doing, Cassie?
If God is for
Hey, to my stepmother over there in the Potters area, East Berlin.
and again,
Hey, Miss Christopher Lewis. Hey, good night, Mom.
no weapon
Hope and trust that all is going good.
spurs
And let me just travel down to the Cooksville area
on my side.
and say good night to Mrs. Winifred Christopher and her family. Bam say. Hey, good night to you and the family. What's up, bro?
I can't
Hey, hope and trust that all is going good. Hey, bless up yourself, bless up yourself.
My God is with me. I got the victory every time.
You're listening to 97.1 ZDK Liberty Radio. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Give me a heart like mine.
Give me a heart that knows no ill. Give me the grace to do thy will. Heart and cleanse this soul of mine, Lord. Give me a heart like mine.
Come to my soul, blessed Jesus. Hear me, O Savior divine. Open the fountain and cleanse me within.
Lord,
Give me a
of the well of tears. Vain is this word, Lord, I now resign, Lord,
Give me a heart like thine.
Lord, attach me to come to my soul.
To my soul, blessed Jesus.
Hear me, O Savior divine.
Hear me, O Savior divine.
Open the fountain and cleanse me.
Open the fountain and cleanse me within.
Lord, give me a heart like thine.
Give me a heart like thine.
From a little cottage in number 3 Casada Gardens hails Rags to Rugs. 100% handmade Antiguan interwoven rag rugs by J. Lissa Lewis. We have various sizes of floor rugs, decorative wall hanging rugs, and table mats, uniquely and sustainably handmade. To purchase, send us a message via WhatsApp at 268-770-8088 for directions to our physical location, or we can deliver to you anywhere on Antigua absolutely free. Like and follow us on Facebook at Rags to Rugs Antiguan Made, on Instagram Rags to Rugs, or you can email us at ragstorugs@gmail.com. Don't forget, our rag rugs and table mats are machine washable and dryable. See you soon.
Older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions are at higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19. If you are at higher risk, you should stay home as much as possible and avoid close contact with people who are sick to protect yourself. Call your doctor if you have concerns about COVID-19 and your medical condition, or if you get sick. Have you left your house for an essential reason? Make sure you take the following steps to avoid spreading COVID-19. Maintain social distance, approximately 6 feet or 2 meters from others. Wear a cloth face covering when in public.
Up to the last election, I witnessed a fight between UPP whistle stoppers and scores of liberals. When I see how battle was felting,
Yes, welcome back to Real Talk.
I run into ya.
Hey, right here on ZDK Liberty Radio, 97.1 FM.
While inside a youngster asks,
The time in studio is 22 minutes after the 8 p.m. hour.
question make me angry.
I decide to answer. I told him I don't.
Dave Beef Joseph in your company again. Hey, how was your day?
That is there a blue chip in my body.
How was your weekend been going?
To be fighting
Hope and trust that all is going good.
politicians and the political party in this island.
Today is another Saturday night.
A chip under my
People going out on the town.
national one.
Tonight is one of the big fete. Let me just encourage people.
Think for
If you're going to be drinking, please
nation.
make sure you have a designated driver.
I think I say I fight.
We're trying to avoid
I'm fighting to safeguard our native.
the mayhem. For those persons who may not be feeling all that good, let me encourage you to say a prayer.
Oh yeah yeah.
Prayer changes everything, each and everything. Hey, once you pray and you mean it, yeah man, the Almighty will answer your prayer.
Stare at me, make me realize that the lack
Let me say good night to my good buddy down there in the Cooksville area.
caught him by surprise.
Hey, my good buddy Plus 8.
Perhaps the youngster didn't
Hey, big up yourself, King.
read
Hope and trust everybody in the house good. Let me say good night to everybody in the house.
country.
Everybody down in the Green Bay area.
Those road party
Hey, bless up yourself, bless up yourself.
to beg to repeat what what I see.
All them say good night to Nalda Jarvis
Conclusion.
over there in the Nut Grove area. Hey, what's up, Nalda?
I repeat.
I hope and trust that all is going good.
It's chip in me,
And let me say good night also to your brother.
a blue chip in my body.
How you doing, Mr. Jarvis?
And just to be fighting
Hope and trust that all is going good.
politicians and the political party in this island. If there's a
Let me just say a special happy birthday
it's a national.
hey, to those who are celebrating today,
I'm fighting.
the 24th day of June.
I'm fighting for
Hey, and one of my very, 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 very good friends.
of this nation.
Hey, that's Dorothy over there in Parham.
I'm fighting.
She's celebrating birthday today.
Fighting.
Hey, happy birthday, Dorothy.
Fighting.
Hope and trust that your birthday has been going good thus far. Whatever you do for the remaining hours, enjoy it to the maximum, Dorothy. Hey, much love.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Also, to those who have celebrated in the not too distant past, hey, my little sister, she celebrated last Tuesday, the 20th. Hey, big up yourself again, Nicole. And advance birthday greetings hey, to those who will be celebrating in the not too distant future. I hope and trust
An innocent child.
that you'll enjoy it when it comes around.
When politicians grant you favor here in this country, they want to control you forever. You are their property, and when they plan they're chipping you, your mind become narrow. So whatever you say or do is for them to prosper. I tell them
I don't have a red chip in me, neither is there a blue chip in my body.
I am too conscious to be fighting for them service politicians and the political party in this island. If there's a chip under my skin, it's a national one. So I'm fighting for the redemption of this nation. Oh yes,
Yeah, I was just checking the birthday the calendar there.
I'm fighting.
Oh yes, Agnes, my good cousin, hey, from the Golden Grove Extension area. She's gonna be celebrating next week, Saturday. Hey, advance birthday greetings to you, Agnes. Hey, can't be too early. Hey, bless up yourself.
The youngster said to tell you the truth, I hate politics. Mommy and daddy acting like fools. They must have having chips. Politics make good men become bad when they have power. It also make the cookish one sad when they are the power. He said, though I cannot.
Yep. Hey, what am I gonna start off with tonight?
So like you, I am very hurt.
Hey, well, as I would have said earlier, you know, there's some weather about. Well, was about. Had an impact down south of us.
It's a fight.
Saw a video where the gentleman got washed away in a vehicle.
And scores.
I think they said it was in St. Lucia.
When
I'm not sure. I was trying to scour the newspapers to see
nobody
whether or not he was rescued, but I didn't see anything.
building.
Hey, but let that be a warning to us here. You know, sometimes don't try with Mother Nature.
Whose side am
Because I believe in a big vehicle, I believe you can get through, you know.
be angry?
Just turn around, try to use another route to get to where you're going.
I don't have a red chip in me.
Yeah, but I heard something on the news here, something that impressed me a lot. Let me just try and see if I could get in touch with a particular gentleman.
For them service politicians and the political party in this island. If there's a chip under my skin, it's a national one. So I'm fighting for the redemption of this nation. Oh yes, I'm fighting. I say I'm fighting to safeguard our native land. Oh yeah, yeah, deal and then. The way he look and stare at me make me realize geography just heard has caught him by surprise. Perhaps the youngster didn't know that, regardless of what, there are those who care about their country and not those who are party. When the youngster begin to beg to repeat what I said, friends, I come to the conclusion
He didn't understand.
I repeat,
I don't have a red chip in me. Neither is there a blue chip in my body.
I am too conscious to be fighting for them service politicians and the political party in this island. If there's a chip under my skin, it's a national one. So I'm fighting for the redemption of this nation. Oh yes, I'm fighting. I say I'm fighting to safeguard our native.
Yes, all right, I'm ready to go now. The time in studio, 29 minutes. Well, it just turned over to 30 minutes after the 8 p.m. hour. And online with me on the telephone line, I have with me one Mr. Donna from the Rural East constituency. How are you doing, Donna?
I'm fine. I'm just making out.
All right. No, you make out making. I want to take make out of making.
All the same.
I was listening to the news. I think it might have been yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. It was yesterday or today, boy. Let me see what date it's on here.
I believe it's yesterday.
Yesterday, yes. And I heard a piece. Mr. Mullin, Fillmore Mullin, former, what's that position now?
Director of our NODS.
NODS, right. I heard him, being a feature speaker at a function that you had, where you opened a center. I'll let you develop more on that just now. But it impressed me, what he was saying. I think it was good. Before I bring you into it, let me just play it so that persons who might not have heard it would hear it, and then we'll get into the discussion, right?
Yep.
All right, so here goes this.
The container is a very small symbol and perhaps the first step in what the communities across Antigua and Barbuda ought to look like where disaster management is concerned. When a disaster strikes, it creates a significant amount of confusion across the country. The confusion is greatest usually at the community level. And so the way we make sense out of that massive confusion is to establish what is called coordinating centers. At the national level, you have the National Emergency Operations Center. And at the community level, certainly in Rural East, you can now have what is called the Rural East Emergency Community Center. What that allowed the team to do is to coordinate all of the activities in this constituency in one centralized location. So if NADS wants to know how many persons went to shelter in this district, in a disaster, we still rely on the good old VHF or HF radios. Somebody goes to the radio room, they pick up the handset, they call. If there's an answer, they can get that information almost immediately. That allows for decisions to be made at that level that will affect this community very seamless. What this office does, it creates ownership. It is your community. When all is going well, when your football teams do well, you celebrate with them. When your netball teams win, you celebrate with them. When disasters strike, they must also own that, but make sense of the chaos. That is how we're going to get through the impact in the shortest possible time, utilizing the resources that we have and assisting those who are in need. Now I say those who are in need because not only in Antigua, across the globe almost, whenever there's a disaster, there is this mentality that things are there to be given out and I want my share, whether you have impact or not. That attitude will only change through education and awareness. And so the team have some work to do yet. This I want to call the first step of demonstrating your ownership. You now need to, apart from training among yourselves, start to inform the community what is expected of them when there is a disaster.
All right, that there was Mr. Mullin. Before we get into deep and stuff, Donna, for those who don't know, you are introduce yourself to us and then know what you do and blah 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 blah. Especially for those persons in the rural East constituency.
Well, I'm the National Disaster Coordinator for Rural East.
Mm-hmm.
I work along with NODS, and I'm responsible for a team of 20 members.
20?
20.
Uh-huh.
20 members. In case of any disaster, well, let's put it this way. If we have a storm coming down our way,
Mm-hmm.
and not set to open the shelters in them, we have 5 shelters in the constituency. We have Clear Secondary School. We have the Adventist Church up in Wireless. We have Christian Union Mission Church. We have Bethel. We have St. John's Pentecost Church. Down
Lachlan Benjamin Drive?
Yeah. Lachlan Benjamin Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And we have shelter managers to each shelter. We have a shelter manager plus 3 or 4 members each, which will be at each shelter until whenever the storm is passed.
All right, so that's a staff complement of roughly 5 per shelter.
Shelter, right.
All right. And you are the overall person who would coordinate things between all the shelters and everything?
All the shelters, yes.
All right. For persons who might not know, if something happens that they will need to access one of these shelters, what are they expected to walk with?
Well,
let me ask the question another way. What are they expected not to walk with?
I know they can't walk with any animals.
Okay.
You don't allow animals in the shelters.
Okay.
Period.
So animals are out.
Animals are out, yes. But we expect them to go to, before anything, make sure they stock up themselves with dry food, medication, the necessary things that they really need, like tablets and cough mixing and these things and so forth, and whatnot, medication. Like dry goods that could take you over for a couple of days as well. Like sardine, beef, we're talking thin stuff and so forth, crackers and these things here. Because, we do not provide cook food. Okay?
Okay.
Do not provide that to anybody. We ask you to make sure you stock up yourself with these things here and walk with them to the shelter.
All right. So now, where did this idea come from to get this container or this structure built? You know what I mean? Tell me, from what Mr. Mullins said, this seems to be the first of the coordinating centers that are needed and will be needed in the nation.
Well, it is the first command center in Antigua and Barbuda. Well, how this came about? I'm at NODS now for 5 going to 6 years. And in 2019, exact 2019, the idea came up when I was in my bed, really. Just relaxing and just meditating, Which we went to some training and so forth, disaster training, tsunami training, all this stuff and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And the idea came to me, something? I believe we should have a command center in Rhodes, At that time, I saw some containers over at NODS. And I was crying about the containers in them. I was made to understand those containers over there since 1995, during Hurricane Louis and so forth. Mm. Yeah, when they came in with goods and so when we had that devastation there with Hurricane Louis. Mm-hmm. And the container them started to look old and rotten and so forth, etc., etc. Flowing eat out with a thermite. Mm-hmm. Hold on there, because this man here, is a machine.
All right. All right, I probably understand. You're listening to 97.1 ZDK. The time in studio is 8:38 p.m. Dave Beef, Josephine and Company. And I'm speaking to Mr. Leslie Donner, the district
disaster coordinator
for the Rural East constituency. Continue, sir.
Yes, so I went to Mr. Mullins before he retired and whatnot. I said to him, Mr. Mullins, I see I have some old container behind there now. I'd like to get one. So you asked what I want a container for? I say, I just believe I could put down a command center in Ruiz. So our team could operate from there. You know, you can't put all the burden on the head office and not. Because, you know, if they have a disaster, you have a lot of people going over there.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and they cause a lot of confusion. And having a command center in every district, it will eliminate all the confusion. Because whenever we have a disaster, whatever happens, you have houses blowing down, trees blowing down, everything getting damaged, a lot of infrastructure getting damaged and whatnot. We have to go out and do our assessment, that is very important. You can hear me still?
Yes, I got you.
Yes, we have to go out and do our assessment of the damages that took place in the country, especially in your area, in your district, rural east. Let me use rural east for now.
Yes.
All right? We have to go and do our assessment. Our team, we have to go out. Not me alone, because everybody went through the training to deal with assessments and so forth. And doing that, when we've done our assessment, we'll get our assessment over to NODS, where they will go through the assessment to see who really need attention as quick as possible. In doing that, having the center in rural east now, they will dispatch whatever we need over here to give out to the people and them, which will make it very easy, taking some of the pressure off of NODS. And to let you know also, I'm the chairperson for the DDC for all of the districts in Antigua.
We call that for the what?
DDC.
What does it stand for?
The district disaster coordinators for all the districts.
Okay.
The 17 districts that we have, 17 constituencies, plus Barbuda. Okay?
Yes.
I'm responsible to make sure everything look after in these areas, make sure that the coordinators get whatever they need and so forth. And the plan is right now is to make sure we get a command center in each district. In each district. And we have to work hard at that. Everybody have to put their hands together, put on the foot and work together.
How long did it take you to complete this command center?
Command center? We started 2019, then the COVID came in and put a stop to it because 2019 going to 2020, we were still working on it. And then put a stop to us now. We had to hold off for over 2 years, 2021, 22. And I made it clear to my guys and them, to the team members, 2023 is not going to pass and we're not finished this building here. This building must be finished for the hurricane season.
And for those who don't know, where exactly is the command center located?
The command center is located on Hawkins Drive. If you know Geos, that is on the opposite side of Geos, just to the east of Electrical Sales, in the yard of the building, the Ape Learning Center.
All right, so for people who, you know, as a matter of fact, when in the sudden sing a song like that, you know, taxi English, you have to go up Farm Road when you reach CIBC Bank and make the right turn.
You make the right turn.
And then with the first left turn or something like that.
Yes, and it will be the second building on your left-hand side.
All right. Remind me to ask you for the telephone numbers and the kind of stuff at the end. But that is where it's located. And you said you were going to complete it, and you all did complete it and have an opening. And I want to congratulate you all for the hard work. You and your team for the hard work that you all must have put in to complete it.
Yes, man. We work tirelessly, man, day and night. And we're not really finished yet because it has to be fenced off. It has to be secured.
Mm-hmm.
Have to be secured. Because already we have our cameras and so forth, you know.
Mm.
And it will be completed it will be fenced by next week coming. All the material already is in place to do the fencing.
Oh, that's good, man. That is good. Let me ask a question. Is there a Facebook page or a website for your command center or for the community?
My secretary already messaged me last night and said she's going to do one, so it will be up by next week.
Okay, that's very good. Because you could, the way how we are now, and I keep saying to people all the while, COVID wasn't all bad. You know, the way how we look at things now, the way how we look to get information must change. And,
yes, and we plan to that center will be well equipped, you know, because we already have our radios and so forth. We have our radios, and like when the guys go to the center, each shelter will have a radio, so we all will be communicating. Now the command center that will be well equipped with computer.
Mm-hmm.
Computer, so whatever information come from Met Office and nods, we will transfer that information to the different shelters. So everybody will be up to date
and what's going on. Very important. In times when you have these kind of catastrophes, or when you have catastrophes, communication and sharing of information is important. People want to know something, then that's important. That's important. So I was hoping, and I'm glad to hear that you all will be putting either a Facebook page or a website in place so that persons can go that route. Yes, of course, it's not going to be 100%, but once the information gets out to certain people, then they will, share that information. As it is now, is there a number that persons in the constituency probably could call if they have any questions leading up to or after a disaster storm?
Well, to tell you the truth, my number is the only number everybody always call. 780 3167.
780
3167.
And I haven't seen the building physically. I've seen it in pictures. But is the contact numbers and them kind of stuff on the building itself? Or you're going to put up a signboard or anything like that?
A signboard, another signboard is going to go up with the numbers on them. And I'm going to, there's space on one of the signboard on the container with the numbers, and then we'll be placing there from next week. Definitely.
All right. That's very important. So as persons pass, for whatever the reason, you might just want to make a phone call. It might be easier for you to make a phone call and talk to somebody and get whatever information or pass whatever information you might want to pass. Anything else you might want to share with those persons that you're responsible for in that constituency in relation to this? Take the opportunity now and talk to them.
Well, everybody in Rudy's know me by now, and they know how to get in contact with me because they liaison with me all the time. As you know, I'm the liaison officer also for this constituency. So I'm the liaison officer for this constituency, and they're always calling me or sending messages, so I have to get to know them and meet them and whatnot.
Let me ask a question before you go. The elderly and the challenged, the physically challenged or mentally challenged, whatever the case is, who resides alone. Does your organization coordinate them, or that's another, or nobody does that? How does that work?
Well, when it comes to disaster, we look out for everybody. We want to make sure that they are well protected. And some elderly, they're very stubborn, eh?
Yes.
They don't want to move.
And I can understand that.
They don't want to move because it is their home, their house, whatever, their property.
I can understand that. But
all I can say to them this time around, if we have a terrible storm coming our way, I will advise you whenever we come to your home to move you, just come, because we are here to protect everybody. We don't want no loss of lives.
All right, but there is, so you all have a list or something like that you all update?
We have a list with all the elders and them.
Okay,
we have a list of them, we have the phone number, everything.
Because when the storm, Brett, I think his name was passing, we heard that it would have been passing. My mind ran on that lady that I always talk to you about in your constituency. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Right. So that's why the question, okay, I was wondering to myself, if there was any assistance for these type of people, or they on their own, or what or what or what.
No. They're not on their own. We look out for elderly and release. We look out for them.
Okay. All right. I'm glad to hear that.
And we have their name, we have their contact numbers, everything.
All right, man. Any final words before I go, Donna? Oh, you've said everything.
Stay safe. There's no any information coming in, whatever storm is coming. I believe this year is going to be very active, and we don't know what is going to happen. Yeah. And may God bless us all.
Hey, boy, that is so true. Thank you for that. All right, nice talking to you, and congratulations again to you and your team, Donna.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good work. All right, bless. That there was Mr. Leslie Donna, District Coordinator for the Rural East constituency, and as you would have heard, they're the first of all the communities to put a command center in place. Very good move, as he said correctly so. Keep some of the pressure, take some of the pressure off of NODS, and as Mr. Mullin would have said when he gave his featured speech, that such a setup is advantageous to NODS in terms of disseminating information to one place, disseminating relief and goods and that kind of stuff to one place, and then it fans out in the constituency, and that's a good thing. So when I heard it, I said to myself, good move, Donna. You and your team, and the work just started now. In terms of that, no, because as I said, I would really hope that you all get a Facebook page, a website, or whatever up, so that you all can then now put that information online and get it out there to the constituents, so that they will know. Of course, not everybody might have access to the internet and that kind of stuff, but those who have it, we share the information with those persons, and it must be easier, because once the information gets out there, that's the most important part of it. We have Brett passed through, as I said earlier, and that did some damage down south. Again, I haven't heard nothing much. I've seen one or two pictures going around on social media, but I haven't heard nothing in depth as to dollar value to the destruction. I'm sure that the different teams are out doing their inspections and them kind of stuff. It's going to take them about maybe a week, 2 weeks, to begin to grapple or to begin to get an idea as to what's happening. So be patient with that. I hope for those of persons who might have family and friends down in that area, I do hope and trust that the telephone lines and social media etc. is up, so that there could be some communication. Because I'm sure if you have family members and friends down there, you must be concerned about them. Boy, one time we went on a cruise and enjoying ourselves, enjoying ourselves. When the last time we coming back, you hear that a hurricane passed down the road, come past Antigua, come down to Puerto Rico. Boy, I could tell you the whole mood changed. Boy, everybody wanted to get home. You would want to believe that some person might say, you know what, let me stay down here where it's a little safe and then go up afterwards. Nah, people wanted to come up to make sure that their family members, their property, those who had left children behind, wanted to make sure that they were here on land, you know what I mean, right under the soil here. I remembered we went to the airport and said, look, whatever flight you go out, we're going out. Even if you have to hop from someplace to someplace, we got to get home. So I know how that is. I do hope and trust the communication lines are open. At least everybody will know what's happening, and that will relieve that stress. The current tropical, is it a tropical storm? Yeah, but it ain't gone to the hurricane stages yet. That's out there is tropical storm Cindy, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I could pick up it would have been either 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock forecast. Let me just see if I could pick that up and share it with you, the listeners. Give me a minute. I will be right back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Need and pain. Leading up to the last election, I witnessed a fight between UPP whistle stoppers and scores of liberals. When I see how battle was felting all over the place, I run into your so building in order to escape.
Hey, let me just say good night to my good buddy, the man Jablaki.
I'm fighting.
Hey, Jablaki, yeah, boy. Where's he?
Make me angry.
Sound like a real Birdman tonight, promoting the rural East.
I don't
What the world is also because me big up Donna. Be a Birdman. Okay.
in my body.
Well, Jablaki boy.
You can't
Well, me even some of them don't believe that at all.
be politician.
But no worry, man, I'm not taking a designation Jablaki. Birdman Jablaki. Hey, big up yourself, King.
If there's a chip under my skin, it's a national one. So I'm
Fighting. I'm fighting for the redemption of this nation.
oh yes, I'm fighting. I say I'm fighting. I'm fighting to safeguard our native land.
Alright, well, there is a 5 p.m. There's a 5 p.m. forecast. Summary of 5 p.m. Information location 17.8 north. Come back to that, Dave. Come back here. Yes, 17.8 north and 54.7 west. About 465 miles or 750 kilometers east-northeast of the Lesser Antilles. It has maximum sustained winds of 60 miles an hour or 95 kilometers per hour, and it is the present movement is northwest or 310 degrees at 21 miles an hour. 21 miles an hour or 33 kilometers an hour. 21 miles an hour is moving quite fast. There are no coastal watches or warnings in effect. At 5 p.m., the center of Tropical Storm Cindy was located near latitude 17.8 north, longitude 54.7 west. Cindy is moving quickly toward the northwest near 21 miles per hour or 33 kilometers per hour, and this motion is expected to continue with a gradual slowdown. On the forecast track, Cindy should pass well to the northeast of the northernmost Leeward Islands. Mostly Leeward Islands being Antigua and Barbuda. So you should be passing northeast is going to be out in the Atlantic. Maximum sustained winds remaining at 60 miles an hour or 95 miles per hour with high gusts. Weakening is forecast over the next several days, and Cindy could degenerate into a trough of low pressure by the middle portion of this week. This week is going to be next week because today's Saturday, so the new week starts on Sunday. When you read these things, I guess that's how the professionals put them out. And by the way, let me just say, anything you hear me giving in terms of my opinion, that's just my opinion. Don't take that as gospel. I don't want nobody to say that, you're trying to supersede the official. So listen and tune into the different radio stations. Make sure you hear the forecast coming from the Met Office. If you can log on and do it yourself. Now that we have the internet, most of us, or most people I know, go to some sort of a weather site to seek information on their own. I normally go to the National Hurricane Center site, National Hurricane Center and Central Pacific Hurricane Center. I normally go to that site. That's the head thing. So I just go right there and take my information from there. But the coordinates that I would have given, 17.8 north and 54.7 west, that is northeast of Antigua. Those, if you punch in those coordinates in any search engine, you will see it comes up. That's northeast of Antigua. So when you hear they say well, let me go back to the actual thing. When you hear they would say it is Cindy's moving quickly towards the no, where is it? I want to get the part where they said the northernmost Leeward Islands. If you're not following and you don't know your map, then you're kind of wondering, They just said it's east of the Leeward Islands. Okay, yes, east of the Leeward Islands, but which one of the Leeward Islands? You know what I mean? So you could get a better idea as to where it is. I know some persons, when we were talking about Brett in a little group that I have, some person was saying, well, how would I say this and how would I say that? Person didn't understand at the time when they gave the coordinates that it was down Barbados area in terms of the location. Some persons thought that it was closer to maybe a Guadeloupe or a Dominica where we would be feeling something, you know what I mean? Well, that's how they put it out. I can't tell them, they're the professional, but when we break it down, I don't know if the local on ABS, the local weather people presenters, whether when they give the location or the coordinates, they normally say, this is going to be east of St. Lucia, east of, so you could form that picture in your mind. But yeah, that's that. It should be, those coordinates should be northeast of Antigua, moving at 21 miles an hour, which is pretty quick. In some of the earlier forecasts, it was down to 15 and 16. So it would have increased its forward speed. And from some little figures that I would have run, it appears as if, you know what, let me not say that. Let me leave that. Let us continue to listen to the official outlets for this information to keep ourselves together. And for those of you, because I'm already prepared, for those of you who have not yet put yourself in a ready state, you see how fast they're coming. We never know what's going to happen, in a few days' time from now. If I'm not mistaken, I think that there was another system in back of this one. No, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it dissipated. I don't see nothing there in the thing now, so maybe it dissipated. But now is the time again to get yourself in a ready state. If there's trees to be trimmed, now is the time to do it. Make sure for those of you who are using medication, you have a little extra medication, so that if anything happens, you don't run out of medication. And whatever we have to do to put ourselves in a ready state, let us do that. Let us do that now, because we just never know. Let us do that now, because we just never know. So I just wanted to get that out there. And then what am I going to move on to next now? Let me try and see if I could line up some other things here. What's happening?
The way he look and stare at me make me realize that the last paragraph he just heard has caught him by surprise. Perhaps the youngster didn't know that regardless of what, there are those who care about their country and not those who party. When the youngster begin to beg to repeat what I said, friends, I come to the conclusion
He didn't understand.
I repeat,
I don't have a red chip in me,
neither
is there a blue chip in my body.
I am too conscious to be fighting for them service politicians and the political party in this island. If there's a chip under my skin, it's a national one. So I'm fighting for the redemption of this nation. Oh yes, I'm fighting. I say I'm fighting. I'm fighting to safeguard our native land.
Well, let me move on now to the Africans African saga. That's what I refer to it as, the African saga. As to the latest on that. Well, I know the UPP held a match. Was it Thursday of this week? Might have been Thursday of this week. I didn't see it. I wasn't in town or nothing for it, so I don't know what it was like. But in listening to the news, I believe they might have had a rally at the end of the match. So in listening to the news, there were a number of presenters. Sorry, there was a number. That is the latest on Cindy. Yes, it is. What I read just now. Yes, that was the latest forecast. They said there's another one coming up at 11 o'clock. So if I'm here that long, I will share it with the listenership before I leave. Yes, so as I was saying, let me bring in this call first before I continue. Good night, caller.
Hello, good night to my good friend Beef. How are you doing, Beef? I'm locked
Hey,
in.
how are you doing, Nala?
I'm good.
All right. How's your brother? Oh, she gone already. All right, thanks for calling, Nala. Tell your brother hello for me. Yes, just want to make a note of that. Yes. So as I was saying, yes, there was the UPP had a march on Thursday, I believe, which ended with a rally, and you know, the UPP and other persons in the society are agitating for a commission of inquiry into the whole African saga. Well, it's well documented now that we were told that we had some rich tourists coming, and then we knew what went down. I mean, if you have to be living on a rock to not know. Anyway, as was played in the news, this was a part of the presentation that was made at the rally by former political leader for the UPP, Harold Lovell.
Antigua is the center of all that. When you hear the cat, they hold them in St. Kitts. They say, where you coming from? Antigua. When they hold them in Tortola, where you coming from? Antigua. They hold them in Grenada, where you coming from? Antigua. In Trinidad, right now they have a court case going on. Where you coming from? Antigua. We say there must be an inquiry into this. We have been calling on the Governor General. He said he can't do it. Well, if he can't do it, who can do it then? And we are calling on whoever it is to call this inquiry. The cabinet, the Prime Minister, whoever.
Yes, so that was Mr. Lovell there, with a part of his presentation. I'm not sure what happens after the presentation. What are the next moves? We'll just have to wait and watch and see. But I would just want to encourage persons who share the opinion that there should be an investigation into what happened from the beginning to the end. Let us not behave and act and bring it down to that it's a UPP fight. UPP is just but one organization who would like to see that inquiry. There are other people in the society who are not members of the UPP party who would want to also see that inquiry. And in your way, I don't know what it is. Everybody have a different way of dealing with the individual situation. You should address your mind, address your situation to whatever you can do to see to it that the investigation that you desire is brought forth. The government seems adamant in not calling the inquiry. We would have come to the conclusion that the Governor General seemingly is of the opinion that he cannot institute independently an inquiry. There are persons who differ with that, but I'm just saying what he's saying. But we need to, as a people, continue, or as a conscious people, I should say, we need to continue to keep this at the forefront of our minds and not allow it to become just like a 1 day or 9 days. I think it's 9 days. 9 days, I say. We shouldn't allow it to become 9-day talk, and then that's it. So, let us do our part. Those of us who believe that there ought to be an inquiry, so we know exactly what is happening, because it is the future of our state that is at stake at the present moment with this kind of stuff, and we just gotta look at it. We just gotta look at it. So that is my little rambling there in relation to that. What is the WhatsApp number? The WhatsApp number, if you want to send a WhatsApp, is 464-4201. 464-4201. That's the WhatsApp line. Well, that's the WhatsApp number. Once you send it to that, we will do that. And if you want to share it on the air, we will read it. You know, some people, when they send your WhatsApp, they say not to be read, and I don't know what people are scared of at this point in time. 24th day of June. 24th day of June. People are still scared. Well, what can I say? The Alfa Nero. Well, as we would have known, the Alfa Nero was auctioned. Was it last week Friday? I believe. Might have been last week Friday for 67 point something $million, US dollars, and the information given was that the money was supposed to would have been transferred to the, well, I'm not sure if it goes to the port and then it goes to the treasury, or it is paid directly into the treasury within seven days. So I believe that is going to be sometime next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, thereabout. And in the event that is not done within that time, then whoever had the second highest bid, that person would get the craft. I haven't heard nothing much. About that. Anything after the auction, really. I heard leading up to the auction. Yes, the auction. Leading up to the auction, I believe somebody had taken the matter to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal did not grant an injunction to stop the auction. And I think the persons got permission to, appeal that decision to the Privy Council, which they did. In listening to another program today, my understanding is that the application was heard by the Privy Council and there was a judgment, but I have not gotten a copy of the judgment as yet, so I really can't say. Seemingly, from what I heard, the person reporting, the Privy Council seemingly agreed with those at the court, at the appeals court. Again, that was my understanding of what the person was saying. But I'm sure that I'll get a copy of that, of the ruling, maybe by next week early, if not by tomorrow. So that's that. And also, somebody brought another action. I believe it started, they say, at either the High Court, I think it's the High Court level. I don't think that matter have started yet. Maybe might start early next week. I think that action was in relation to the actual auction, challenging the auction. If what I heard was correct, so we'll have to watch that and see what the court says, and whether or not, if at the court of first instance, whatever is ruled would be accepted, or if that too will be appealed. So we are watching and waiting and following the different news outlets to see The next thing is when the money is paid in. And as you know, there have been some discussions. There have been some discussions in relation to how the monies should be used. The Prime Minister did say on a program, I'm trying to remember where it is, that and I'm just paraphrasing here, I hate to do that. But my understanding was that he said that that's going to be now at least maybe a little over 50%, 50 to 55% of the total would be used of the money, that is the 67 million US, or I think that works out to 180 something million EC. A little bit over 50%, there about 50, 55, 60% will be used to address the national debt. Yes, the Prime Minister did say that. Where is it? Do I have it? Yes, I do.
At least 2/3 of it will be utilized to reduce our national debt. So we intend to reduce the national debt by about $100 million, or just over $100 million. Again, we're not going to be awash with money, as some may think. West Indies Oil Company as well, that provided fuel and credit.
Yes.
They will be paid up front. But in terms of the remaining funds, and I'm told too that is about $7 million in liabilities that preceded our acquisition. We'll have to determine how we deal with those liabilities. But certainly the local ones will be paid in full.
All right, look as if I made a mistake when I said a little over 50%. I think he said 2/3. Did I hear that correctly?
At least 2/3 of it will be utilized to reduce.
Okay, right. So at least 2/3 of the I prefer to quote it in EC. We're EC country. At least 2/3 of the 180 whatever. Let's use 180 just for round figures. 2/3 of that. 2/3 of that is going to be equal to wrong thing, Dave, wrong thing. Let me see how I can get that. Oh, general. Okay, I'm going to come back to that just now. But as you would have heard, 2/3 will be used for the national debt. When I heard that, I went to look to see if I could have ascertained what the national debt was. I'm not sure if it was given in the. No, I'm just talking about it. I'm not sure if the figure was given in the last budget debate. I'm not sure. I'll have to go and check the budget debate document and see to kind of get an idea as to or what kind of dent would that put in the national debt. From what I would have seen, they gave a range. Whichever website it was gave a range, leading up to I think maybe up to maximum $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. That's what I saw. So I just wanted to get an idea as to how what that 100 million or a little over that would. How much of a dent that would put into the figures? But that is out there still. If anybody out there have that that figure for the national debt, you could just WhatsApp it to me, and for my own edification, because I don't know it. Sorry, I don't know it, and maybe I could share it with others. Maybe I could share it with others who might not have that information too. So that's another thing that we're watching. In terms of those of us who are into radio and politics and that kind of stuff, waiting to see if the money is paid in, when the money is paid in, and with all these storms that we're having, it has been said that it would be a catastrophe should the vessel be damaged where it is, etc., etc. So we're hoping, we would want to hope that whatever needs to be done quickly. In terms of if it's bought, people getting it in a state where it could leave where it is, so that we don't have a catastrophe, as they have been saying, because we just don't know. We just don't know. So we can't take that break. We can't take that chance, I should say. We can't take that chance. You just never know what is going to happen there. But it's going to be quite interesting. The UPP, in relation to the monies, I would have heard, what's her position there now? She's the chairman. I think it's chairman. DJ Isaac, indicating that they're of the opinion that the money is less any expenses the country would have probably suffered for having the boat there. Those monies would have belonged to, or ought to belong to, the people of Ukraine. And I would have listened on certain talk shows and hear people going to town on her in relation to her position of that. If that's her opinion, that's her opinion. And I don't see why the kind of abuse was really necessary. I share that opinion too. I believe that less any expenses that we would have had we would have taken on as a country, less those figures. I am of the opinion that the money should be going into some sort of an account or going to some sort of an international body to make its way over to Ukraine. I'm of that opinion. People want, of course, that different in the business. I really don't care. But that is just my opinion. The way how I reason it, the sanctions were put in place because of the war. Right? The sanction was put in place because of the war. And if the sanctions were put in place because of the war, then it seems to me that the persons who are suffering from the war should be the ones benefiting from that, in my opinion. But again, that is just my opinion. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens along the line there, in terms of whether or not, well, the decision has already been made. But if the conscience, the moral compass of the nation, what will it say? What will it say? Will other persons who have the same opinion, will they come forward? Who knows? Who knows? I'm just looking for what's the name? I'm just looking for a tune here, as I'm talking, but I'm not seeing it at all. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did with it. I thought I had it in this thing here. But I am not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. All right, you know what? Let me. Oh no, I can't even go to that. To get back to where I want to get back to, but for some reason I'm just not seeing. Yeah, it should be in that folder there. I don't understand why it is not 2023. No, I'm not in the mood for no soca. What? the carnival tents would have been open now for maybe about 3 weeks or thereabout, maybe. From what I hear them saying on the radio, it doesn't seem as if the support is as it ought to be. Let me just encourage those persons who lovers of the art form. I think all of the tents are being held at one place. I think it's on Cross Street. I don't remember the name of the thing. I think it's Julie's, but different people run different tents on different nights. But check it out. Good night, caller.
Good night, Biff.
Hey, where's the big king?
But I'm good. While you read to me, you can go and look for the tune there, but I want you hear me out too, because to the statement with what Giselle said, I don't want you to agree with Giselle because the other people not agree with Giselle. I don't want you to agree with she because of that. I don't want you to agree with she because really of the truth she talk about this. Because
me agree with you because what other people say?
No. Me just to say, because it's a formal opinion. Me just to say.
Okay.
Me don't want you agree with she, but me know you don't really agree with she, but you agree with the topic what she talk about. Which is, me see them that way as well, Biff, because what good the money they do to Harvey?
Well, the money will be good to us because, as you see, they're applying it to the national debt. So it will be good for us.
So if that boat the number here.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. That's a whole other discussion. Where those monies would either come from investment or from taxes. One or the two. Right.
Okay, then.
Right. So I hear what you're saying.
Right.
No, I'm saying I hear what you're saying. Right. But to say that the money would not be of no use to us, that's not true at all. It would be. But I just believe that the sanctions are put in place because of what was happening, and less any expenses that our government would have taken on with that ship being here for the year, whatever it has been here for. When you deduct that amount, I am of the opinion that the money should go to some international account, something like the UN or something, that it will eventually make its way to Ukraine for the people that will be bombed. That's just my opinion.
Well, I see that way as well to Beef, because Richard, I heard talking about if father the Ukraine the money, what about what you look for now when they start bombing? Really, Beef?
No, I heard that too.
But really, Beef?
well.
No, but can hold me some Beef. You know, this whole cast is all about Ukraine. Gas price go up, prices even the supermarket go up because of that. Which, you know, if the war never happen, we need to know worries with nothing with Ukraine and this and that. So now because you sanction everybody from Russia with the different votes and the different things what they have. Beef, the money is supposed to go straight back to Ukraine. Because of them who get bombed up, and them who suffer in that area. Which is, yes, the money will come in handy for our don't they? Yes, Beef, but really, our hand orders with that Beef. And regardless to what you want to do, I say, home museum, the money is supposed to go back to Ukraine. And then now, with the ship now, with the hurricane Beef, this year alone hurricane come, I look for come.
No, hurricane season
every year. So what about last year? Nobody really think about this? The boats got to be a hazard, say if hurricane come and mash them up, things will happen. Nobody will think about this last year.
To be honest, me no.
But to be honest, Beef, no. Because only now this talking to come up about hurricane come and the boat will be a hazard and for this and for that happen. You know what I mean, Beef? So this is just fishy and too suspicious, you know what I mean, Beef?
Well, whatever it is now, we are already at a state. The boat has been auctioned. My understanding is that there's some issues before the court, and the court will decide one way or the next what is what, and then we'll go from there. What
kind of issues with the court Beef when you know have one bidder done day that they give it in 7 days?
Yes, but I think that there's some kind of action taking place in the court that if our government is successful in that case, it would mean that all that they would have done would have been correct. And if not, if the reverse happens, it means then that the state would owe somebody some money.
But beef, we put ourselves in a problem now because, hear me out now, we come with the whole action part for sell the boat. Now, who now come beyond now and had a sanction with the same boat in the court?
I don't know. I think I heard in the news the action that is being taken at the High Court level is being taken by somebody's daughter. I don't know exactly.
That own the boat?
Yes. I think that's what I heard in the news.
Okay, but now beef, that they now fishing out because check them out. All the rest both of them showed the world out of Russia that they sanction and they hold on pan. With the kids and them are the daughter and them come in and the son come in to try to stop them selling there.
Well, to my mind, of all the different things I may hear, different countries, etc., whole, unless me miss it, I haven't heard much of these assets being sold off.
Okay.
Unless I can't, you know, somebody can send me. Somebody can send me an article or, you know, if there's any statistics out in relation to that. But I don't know. As a matter of fact, from what I would have read in trying to research on things, in many parts of the world, some of these countries who have held these assets are finding out that it's a financial burden to them.
Okay, so what we getting ourselves into?
Well, me no. The court will decide. As I said, we went and we made some amendments to the Port Act, etc., based on certain concerns that the government had in terms of the weather situation and that kind of stuff. And persons have the right to go to court and challenge, and the court will decide based on what is presented to it. It will make a decision. If the government is right, it will rule in the favor of the government. And if the court is of the opinion that the government is not right, it will rule in the favor of the other person. And then I would assume that persons can appeal that decision up to the Privy Council level when it will be settled.
That is like a fishy, man. Hope whatever the government are put out in them know what them about beef. Because hope that they not going to come out to our taxpayers now if anybody have a pay. So that's the fishy part. And beef, this is the problem you have to King. Why when politicians do something, a taxpayer have a payback for? Why then they don't pay back for beef?
Because they're not in the representative, then they represent our. That's why.
They don't represent our. How come our not benefit every time? Why make them? They must they change how I build big house, I get land, I get farm. Why make go into our beef?
How do I answer the question there, boy?
Boy, me no know.
How do I answer the question there?
Well, me no know. You have to try answer. Ma tell me, boy, you pass until the next time.
The government, any government that's in place, right? Is an expression of the will of the majority of the electorate. Right? Any government that's in place, that is the will of the majority of the electorate at the time. So I guess that is what it comes down to.
All right, my brother.
Before you go, let me ask you a question. I was gonna ask this question later, but now I have you and you're from the area down there. What's the latest?
Repeat that again.
No, I said I was gonna ask this question earlier. I haven't heard nothing recently, but since you're from the area, let me ask. What's the latest with the Booby Ali situation?
Beef no latest, day. Beef. One man take 15 years now for develop and place, and you believe anything can happen right there in them time, beef?
Okay.
Just think about it.
Hey, me not get caught up. Me don't want to get caught up like that. Here the question we just want to ask.
Let me give you another answer. Let's say in 2 months' time, but that's around maybe 1 month ago. In 2 months' time, the Chinese and then come and then they start level on the place and start do work.
In 2 months' time.
That's what I'm saying.
And between then to now 1 month gone. All right. So one more Monday we go then.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the girls that lived between the alley, she the one that told me the information there.
Okay.
So when she tell me that, she just bow she head same because nothing to carry on down the beef, no work and carry on down the only thing I see that them do when they come down at the restaurant at the radio station, then there's park views over there for a parking spot beef. That's all I see them do.
All of the structures were removed?
No, because as why we know because they're not really too know what them about know what them up to. You have one guy really puggy, he no move off of there yet. You still have Miss Brown house still pande, and you have another place on the corner. So you have a few houses that still believe that.
So about 3 properties needs to be.
No movement to take place, my brother. My brother, no movement to take place. Nothing to take place, King. And me don't know how long you go to Pint. And if you go back down there, you can realize that from the last time you passed you, I do the same thing to the base. You see? So me don't know, but she told me that yes, then tell them that the Chinese are going to come and start to do work. As what me tell you, me see nothing call carry on down there, but that's 1 month ago, so you know this is going to be for 2 months. So I can't wait for this month. After this, say the half of next month, if nothing carry on, well, beef, you don't know we're gonna no better.
Okay, so by mid-July. By mid-July.
Then. Yeah, that's just say mid-July. Say mid-July, if nothing carry on, you don't know what go on, beef.
Okay, me don't know what go on. Me just wait till mid-July.
Okay, you will see what go on.
Me really know what go on. Me just wait until.
Well, me, you just the same though. Me don't know what go on, but I will see what carry on.
That's the most. God's fair life, I will show you.
All right, my brother. Hey, wait. The move yet. I saw me hear that somebody did want for buy out Larry.
I'm hearing that too. But
well, I know you over there every day, and you wouldn't more get the information quicker faster.
Strange enough, you know me over there. Many hear on telephone over there.
What is that? So now let everything hide from you.
Strange enough, me over there, boss. I mean, hear a thing.
And they should have asked my partner. They know. They always buy everything. He wouldn't know anything. He's cut. Wouldn't know anything.
Somebody called me. No, my neighbor. My neighbor asked me if who would take over the gas station. I say with the gas station. She say, Larry gas station. I say, me no. And when I was there a day, I did see a man there and a push one. You know, one of them. I guess I want something for measurement. But I was saying, ever since they fixed the road, once rain come, that's gonna be the southernmost entrance with a flood out.
Yep. So that they're hauling a beef.
Right.
Them dig that down now.
So
that they're hauling. Then rain come down. Don't see what's
right.
Gonna be.
So when I saw the man doing, I said in my mind, okay, well maybe then go seek for sort out the problem and get the water away. So when neighbor asked me about it, but she mean no. And then I asked my partner up there. And then he tell me he got a talk with me. And then shortly after we hang up the phone for me, somebody send me rather a video that what's his name? Wenna. I don't know if you've seen that video.
No, I don't see it. If you have it, send me when I get the time.
I'll do that. When I was up, you normally go around to different places and right.
Yeah.
So he was up there videoing, and according to him, the
football field as well too.
The whole area. But apparently they have given. If what he's saying is correct, they have given Larry up to whoever it is that's running the place, he or his wife, or he and his wife.
And the end of July, me here?
The end of July or August. What we know? June? Monday. But think August now. Think of that with me here.
Remember that has been done in long time now, so it could be even end of July too. But yeah, but after then August then too.
That's what I heard. And I have heard the speculation as to who might be leasing it or renting it or whatever. But my partner Plassie tell me all the time, never jump the brush, never run the brush, make the information come. So we'll wait, because eventually whoever is going to take it over, it will be known. Can't hide
Yeah.
in Antigua. So
Can't hide.
me not get into this me kind of stir from that until we know for sure.
Beef. Well, right now, I kind of change the captain in Antigua beef, and we expect this is why you can be. And me tell the king, hope at time will come that our beach over so, but the north side the job work. Hope at time come back, still can get for use them, get for occupy them, get for go swim, and hope at times will come, I can still get for go West Indies Isle, we kick some football beef.
Well,
You see?
whether I can go to the beach or not, me cannot. Me don't do football now. The way how me live life now, right? And talking about that, somebody sent me a video. Me go what is it, boy? More for on my plate. Sometimes I tell him I come in here and see some the move behind. I see somebody put up a video with somebody that look like Magic.
Oh, what's it mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, magic.
Me,
But you want to hear how them a banging all that.
they will tell me for play it, But I say that to say this. In Antigua, a lot of people wait for other people for carry the water for them. You check?
Yeah.
Me not carry nobody water at all.
No time at all.
Me do for me part as me see fit for nation building. And whatever else I'm after that, we drop it up.
It up. That's how you go, brother.
And strange enough, when I heard of this stuff with Magic, well, it's just tonight I'm coming here, I'm seeing the video. I see somebody put them up and say, play this here. Magic was on the radio a few nights before that. I was listening, and you know how Magic is when he's expressing himself.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, why Magic say Antigua people shouldn't do this, Antigua? What make you not do? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What make you not do? That's what I was saying to myself. So when I saw
nobody wants to lock up nothing.
Well, you never get locked up. You never get locked up for protest peacefully. How Jim Galloway and them? How long Jim Galloway and them march when they get locked up?
At times, and a peacefully Magic is anything.
Well, me not agree with nobody with the violence or for go down the road for break nothing. Me not do that. But when I heard about it, I smiled because I said to myself, well, if that is your way of protesting, that is your way of protesting. Me not a problem with that. But people in Antigua need to stop wait for people for carry their water, carry on water.
Simple.
Because at the end of the day,
in Antigua, because our job, our faith for talk.
And say them.
That is the thing in Antigua. King.
No, say them. They say you, because meaning that.
No, well, not you, but
that's what I ever say. That's why I want.
Because of them job, they're fit for
that's
talk.
That's why
even coming up to election, being but people are fit for talk.
That's why I want ever say them.
Well, them,
right.
them, they're fit for talk.
You
see,
me can.
But this is what me say.
Me can ever.
Job.
Me can ever afraid.
Them job. Them straight for talk.
Me can ever afraid for talk.
You know when you're working for the government, look at what happened with the girl on the port. Remember the girl talk and say
no, that ain't different thing. That ain't different thing. You see, sometimes our make emotions get the better of us. And you have to be fair across the board. If you can't be just giving out your employer information willy-nilly and blah 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 blah. No, that's how it work. So sometimes I'll have our right in our hand and then I'll give it winner. Because I want to use our head.
That's true.
You understand? So the only thing that I am saying is maybe if I travel go somebody else's country, I go hush promote. Me never hush promote in Antigua. So me all who afraid to talk, well, that is also in the business. Me not have nothing against them now. If they want to take blow in silence, then take blow in silence. Nothing wrong with that. Me not take the blow in silence.
No.
That's what me know.
But Biff, this is what me realize now. Since you won this program, you had this program going. This is the thing me realize. You come with the different issues, you talk, you say what you say, but what happened? What, people afraid for trouble you? People afraid for the things about you? Or what happened? But I hear nobody trouble you. You had this program maybe a month now. Or what happened? Why you be so? That's what people afraid you?
What they gonna say about me what they gonna say about me?
Well, I don't know because
only two things you hear them say about me. You hear them say I love plenty woman, that they one. I'm think that is sound better than if I love plenty man. You understand? By the way, now I talk about this homosexual thing reason, so let me not go on the road. But that's it. That could be one. And two, they can say that me na hana pick me.
Okay.
Hold on, take a time.
Yeah, another one for
and for no, but as I say, when the lady went bed last Friday, them say, you know what? Me gonna be like someone friend and me gonna take a wrong pick me. That's what I'm saying I'm gonna do. So when I got this problem in next Friday, when I got this problem, I'm gonna take a wrong pick me. So that's the problem. So.
You're fine, the answer, brother. But as what me say, man, like I'm afraid you.
For what? Me
say, oh, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. When you have a pump, everybody just keep quiet. What happened? Why you be so?
Nobody.
Are the devil you be in person that people afraid for something about you?
No, why? Why are people afraid? Nobody's supposed afraid. You see, people treat you. I'm gonna tell my friends and them and so all the way. People treat you the way how you allow people to treat you.
Okay.
You understand?
Just like your car to them when you pan down the station. One to them, when they're not calling now, you pan the DK.
Them will listen. No, them will listen.
And just keep them more quiet?
Well, they're not ready yet. They're not ready to talk yet.
Anyway, let's go on the program, my blood.
Bless up yourself, King.
You find the song yet?
Yeah.
Well, if you thank Rasta in the man, for reasons so long, they get like a time for find the song, man, brother. You saw the eye work with the eye.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
All right, my brother. Now play the tune. Let me hear it now.
Take care.
All right, King. Respect.
Hello, good night, caller.
Family.
Hey, what's up, King?
You too rude now.
What me do again? What me do again?
What me kill this? So, and I don't know the caller this. Me hear they cuss everybody, me hear they cuss night, me hear they cuss serpent, but me never hear them a touch for you, can boss.
Me not a con.
And why you have some kind of secret with them?
Me not a con, man.
Me hear them a drop our water and so down, so. Now, I wake up down the northwest.
Yes, that's what we do. Good. You can say point of him now.
Eh?
You can say point of him, where for it?
Not put me in nothing.
Please
don't put me in cousin in nothing. Good night to my sister Nala Jarvis. Family, so how you behave?
Well,
me love what you say. You don't pick me, you take around, pick me like your friend and them.
I'm going to take one for this year.
And we talk about the Joe Blackie.
Oh Lord, me say about me, you tell me about other people.
Maybe, no, maybe the Joe Blackie. Joe Blackie.
You see, me just tell you like I say, point of you tell me to mix up, no, you want to mix me up. See you later, boss. Take care.
All right,
All right, love you too, man.
Yeah, man.
Missed that call there. Sorry about that caller. Call me back 462 1100 is the number. Oh, you know, oh man, put this there. That sound good for Sepan here, Dave. Just make someone put that there in the wrong place. Hello, good night, caller. Hello, good night, caller.
Hi, Biff.
Hi.
What's up, brother?
Hey, me cool. What is it? Spot on?
Yeah, I'm going.
Spot on, where you come you?
Every day, I'm thinking somebody and just trying to put some things together. Because I put something, I'm poor in place for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Come, listen. May I just follow the cabinet presentation every Thursday?
When I followed last time, because for the last...
One minute, sorry. If you think not... I'm to be first about me, I think I'm wrong. But it's the medical Thursday, right? You know, the press weekend, that if any liability come, right, with Alpine, CAC, you don't want to come from the boat, put up on the street. You did the man right, you know, when he said that...
Oh, that going on, what?
If there any liability, right, with the sale of Alpine, in the court, put the liability on the state. Before me and the man said, I play over the song about 4 times now, you know that?
But if there's any liability, where you expect you to go?
He should put up on the state.
But where you expect you to go?
But me the thing, me come on the state, but what I say, if we had that in mind, but if we want to settle in the public.
Why not the truth? If the truth, what happened?
Yeah, but when you come on, but what I say, why not the boat and the state and the Bible and
which boat?
The same Alphanevo.
Tall and so you work. The man who buy Alphanevo, right?
Yeah, Eric Schmidt.
Once everything work out and he pay money and he go, right?
He gone.
Free slate start from then now.
Once he don't come and pay money and everything, he gone about business.
Free slate everything before that hand of Rudy.
All right.
At least that is my understanding.
Okay, my understanding where come from, right? So you're gonna tell me now, right? You know that you know the end now done like this. You know you're being backlash after this, right? But what I say now, you're gonna tell me now that whatever happened that I'll perform again till I'll perform again now. I'll perform afterwards not here, you know. You know when you go to court, you need to take time before everything happens to go down the line, right? You take time, right? And my car said you don't know the award whoever the owner is gonna be. This amount of dollars. Then they come out money again, taxes money again.
But what again I think that maybe the government will win the case.
You know, I'm not going to win the case. Because many times, I tell you, I see them in action and then I perform.
I would just have a wait, man. I would just have a wait and make the process, make them some running scores.
I may say to you, he said that Thursday, well, me to watch, I may say, right, me watch the movie play out, that's all I'm going to say. Me not going to watch the movie. As the days go by,
that's the most I could do. That's the most I could do. Let the matter go to court and let it be adjudicated and I will say work.
You know, that's not bother me. But listen, me read them many times. The Bishop Charles Brown, you hear?
Mm.
Where he about that far, he just know that he then can't stand for them, right?
In the free church, in his church.
In the free church, yeah. But what for asking, yeah? All the time, when the government go parliament, to pass the legislation, how you talk about?
Well, to be honest, from what I heard the bishop said, that he knew, I may paraphrase, you know, he know that there's other ills, but he start with the people in the smoke.
So
what you will say, he acknowledged that, yes, we know about all that, but may start with the people in the smoke and want to come and be godfather from the church.
The next question is now, the people in the smoke, right, area? I'm going to church and to collection. If you take the money?
Well, in American policy, they don't want to buy the smoke in the church yet.
No.
At least, if you make the policy, in the world, no yet.
Man, so I say, listen to me again. Whether you stand for one child and not, right? And you smoke weed, whether you rasta your ballad, right? And you go to church, you hear? When you show your offering, you can call them collection or your tithe, whatever you put them at, right? And the time comes. And you collect everything and move on.
Yes.
If you know that they're in the smoke, you should collect the money.
Why not?
Why not? And you against me?
Spot on. You against what?
You against me?
Yeah, what make you against you? You not against you?
Because he say no. He discriminate no. And he say, once you're a smoker, right, and you come to free church, you can't stand and got parents at no time.
Stop right there now. You hear what he say? He didn't say nothing else more than that now.
I understand that.
So you can come in the church, maybe about 10 big head, and throw in $10,000, you take a $10,000 because you have policy against that. You have policy against people who smoke standing as God-parent. Right, that's the policy. And that's the policy that he shared with the public.
No, but all the time when you come to the habit, you can't go parliament, that you never talk about until now.
Well, I can't, know, so I can't say. I don't know if he ever had a comment, but even if what you're saying is true, right? In every fight, people have a pick up, so boy, you don't want to pick up the fight day. Maybe he said to himself, well, look, if government go parliament, in a manner sense, me knock from my head because the majority of people vote for them so they can go and do as they like. But me run from a church, and this is what me saying from a church.
Okay, you understand.
You can cope in the policy and say, so long as they bleach, you know why I come in church.
Well, I try that's right, that's free church.
And all of what people have to do, if you're not, this is the policy.
Well, it's not somebody.
That's simple as that. ABC.
Okay. And the next thing, right? The water situation, right? Here, Melford come and say again, right? If you're listening, you can go back for ABS Thursday morning, go on the briefing and listen. The water situation again. He say by October, right? I got additional half million gallon of water. So what does this now again be?
By October what?
By October coming, right? The plant are produce additional 500,000 gallons of water.
Which plant? The plant that put in on Fort. Okay, right. That now work?
Yeah.
Who say now work?
Well, let's go down Fort.
We're not going to Fort in a while, but as far as... But as far
as... telling a lie.
Here what me know. Here what me know. Here what me know, Jack. Hold on there. Come and talk to somebody big in the system who's supposed to know going. I called the person last week. Today what? Today is Saturday. This Brett something supposed to pass about Wednesday, Thursday. So I spoke to the person about Friday evening, right? And not yesterday, Friday before that.
Yeah, the week before.
Right, because no water, well, I shouldn't say no water. Water came by me, but the pressure not me to come in the house.
Right.
But you know that kind of something about me. Yeah. Praise the Lord for that. I'm not good with that. Right?
Yeah, but one more, you know that.
Hold on. So I called him because I couldn't look and see them go down and I know me hear this rain comes when they want government water running certain tanks, etc. So I called the person, asked them, what go on. They told me that the plant was down for 2 weeks because they're going to put in a new tank or something to the effect. And he told me that as we were speaking, they're going to fill up some kind of tank so that they can get the water. So he said, if I'm going to get the water 4 in the morning Saturday, I'm going to get water this Saturday. Right? And about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the water come and water run straight for since He might come out for maybe 2-3 hours, but for the most part, the water doesn't run.
In a few area.
Yes, Yorks. Me call them Yorks South.
Okay.
And for time the water come out for the same 6 o'clock the Saturday morning, me till the turn off from the government water because me not run the government water in the system and the rain come and the water drop the ground.
Alright.
So I don't have enough water for 2 weeks and rain might come in the 2 weeks to full them up. So me lock off for my main water. For my main some long time. But hold on it. If we go back to the distribution, right? You see like what I try to explain to you with Charles Brown and his policy?
Yeah.
Melford don't come to us and tell us. In terms of the distribution and in terms of the pumps and that I have to put in to carry the water over hills at certain parts, the elevated areas. He don't allow that they couldn't do nothing much because they don't may get the money from the... Remember they were supposed to get some money from a couple banks come together?
Yeah, for additional...
Right. Even don't allow it that they don't get the money yet. Since then, I know that would have probably been, let's say about a month ago, I know that there was some kind of signing off on the documents and then it would have taken another week or two for the actual money to flow. Now I would have read something in the newspaper a day or two ago where AP would say that then go do work on the distribution. So when I saw that, I said to myself, well, maybe the money finally come through.
Alright, understand. But what more often, right, you hear? One more pint of villa, right, and 4 to the yard, and the water, and arm plant now down.
Pint and villa?
The water problem still remain.
In the pint and villa?
Yes, it still remain.
Well, me can't talk about that. Me don't live a pint and villa, but me can tell. Well, me can tell you.
Me not see no command. Listen me good. Me not see no command. You understand? But what we try to say, right? What we try to say, the plants in our yard we should have done a 4th, right? We should not be the one if water come out today or tomorrow. You have no confirm?
No, I hear what you say, but I'm not going to agree, you know. You know why? Because you can tell me that you have people in a pint and villa and jocks that not have 3 days storage.
But me not going to say, me not know about it, me not nobody pocket, right?
No, me not even talk about pocket now. So you build a house and a building with the storage?
Well, how much people can build a house and can't buy a tank up to now?
They can buy a drum?
And they can buy a tank.
They can buy a drum?
Yes, they can buy a drum. But everybody go on drum. Right? Some people want tank, have a drum done. If you wash the drum done, the same thing you wash.
Anyway.
I'm sure, yeah. Me think, this will put me up in now. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm starting to be corrected. Me think like, I have too much of plan, far less water. That's my opinion. Me know the reason why, but that's how we think about it.
Hey, me talk to enough people. But I really say that me talk to enough people. Me listen to Melford good. Me listen when Melford talk. Me had the recordings of them. If you don't have the money for do what I have to do, you can't solve the problem.
Man,
and how can produce 99 billion more gallon of water? If when you turn on the pipe, you run go wrong, you get waste. So it's just simple as that. Hey, as a matter of fact, I heard Melford saying one in the press conference. You see what you're talking about in terms of where you don't want the water situation to go? Melford say it might take about 10 years to get there. Yeah, Melford say it might take about 10 years.
That's another decade, you know.
Hey?
That's another decade, you know.
Me tell you what me think me here. Hold on there. Let me see. Melford. Even next decade? Well, not say next decade, just say next 10 years.
What? All right. But no one minutes enough. Do the minutes enough.
Okay, man. Take care. Thanks for calling, man.
All right, brother.
Yeah, there is. Where is it? Yes, repiping. 5 to 10 years.
To go back to the original question,
If you'd
we
like
are
to make
not
a
yet
call,
in receipt
please
of the
hang
funds
up.
to be able to do that. So we have squeezed as much resources as we can from the internal cash flow and operations of the utility, and I think they've done remarkably well to get us to this point. But there's still a lot of distance to cover.
Percentage of pipes still need to be replaced?
If I'm going to tell you the plain ball truth, Zoe, the approximately 37 miles of pipe in Antigua in the transmission and distribution system. And the vast majority of it, more than 80% of it, are old cast iron pipes. And where over the period of the last 20 years, APU would have been in the process of removing some of those cast iron pipes and replacing them with the hard white PVC pipes. Those pipes are known to malfunction after 10 years because they do get brittle. And when we had the frequent changes in atmospheric conditions where we have heavy rainfalls and then it gets very dry as it is now, the movement in the land or the subsidence in the land causes those PVC pipes to crack and to break. What APU has moved to since, I believe, 2016 would be the implementation and the use of HDP pipes. And these high-density polyurethane pipes, polyethylene pipes, are more resilient towards that structural movement in the land and are less prone to leaks. To answer your question, to remove 10 miles of those pipes and to replace them, it's going to cost approximately 40 million EC dollars in the first instance. So there's going to be an ongoing, I would say, even 5, 7, 10-year challenge to be able to get up to par where the entire infrastructure of distribution pipes and transmission pipes are replaced. There is going to be an ongoing requirement to deal with the whole replacement of pipes. There's lots of it in the ground, lots of it are old, and we have got to do this on a phased basis and a selective basis, and to deal with the more urgent problems of getting water to the homes and to get high quality potable water to the homes, because in many instances people are still complaining of rusty water coming into the pipes whenever water is available, so we have to be able to deal with.
Ah, boy, sorry. Anyway, the recording was almost done. But that's it. Spot on. You know, when we must listen, man. We must listen and hear, because the information is out there now. But it's just that it keeps, flying by because we're not listening. And just as I played that, I'm just trying to remember. Was it Melford? Yes, it was Melford who said it. In terms of the banks and the signing off of the yes, it was Melford who said it. I'm trying to see if I could pick it up. Maybe it was last year, maybe it wasn't this year. But he did speak about when and I think maybe about a year or so would have passed when you would have thought that the public would have thought that the monies would have been if you would have got the monies. I know for sure. I'm not sure if it's this year. It was last. It was the latest tune, but no, that's not it. That's not it. Maybe I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna look for that clip. Maybe by next week, God's Spare Life. I'll probably share it. But I know that he had indicated in a conversation that the banks, because I would have heard that, a long time ago, in terms of the money not being, APA, not having the monies and blah 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 blah. So when I heard him say it, I just made a note of it because I knew the importance of what he was saying. Where persons were saying that valves are being locked off and them kind of crap. When the people in them inside who know that's not the case. I mean, at one point in time too, I think I played it now. I think I played it someplace where Melvin said, coming out of one of them stuff, that he had to convince, he was successful in convincing his colleagues to stay the course in terms of financial support for APA. And I just smiled to myself and say, I have a joke, never make one. Anybody could still think that not to support that situation at this point in time. That doesn't make sense. But I'll look for those and come back with those. You're listening to 97.1 Liberty Radio ZDK. Gonna take a break and I will be right back. I'm gonna go out with the tune for Queen Thalia. This one I believe she tags Brockway.
Brockway, hear what I say. It's a blessing, yeah. It's a blessing, oh. The Father made me and I'm a blessing. He sent me here to share my gifts with the people. So be humble, no time for stressing. No, stay far away from wicked hearts and evil. As I move forward in myself, the real life teachings I collect. When they fire shots, nothing collect. Forever she live, they cannot rest. Smarter than them, my intellect. Give me wisdom to guide and protect. So often they come trying to drop bombs on me, but it's a blessing, yeah. That I'm breathing the breath of life, and I'm thankful to be alive. The kind of blessing that you can't borrow nor pay for if you are in His favor. Oh boy, we only got one life to live, so take a trip. Only got one life to live, so see for white. Only got one life to live, so let we flex. Only got one life to live, so live your life, yeah. Keep your head high and watch where you're stepping. Even if you stumble and you fall, keep it moving. You are alive and that means you're gifted. Stay focused and the world is yours. Keep on the grind, that's all we do. With a little vibe and party too. We so energized, can't stop, we flow. So tell the bad mind they got to go. My circle is small, not letting go. Shout out one and all that help me grow. So often they come trying to drop bombs on me, but it's a blessing, yeah. That I'm breathing the breath of life, and I'm thankful to be alive. The kind of blessing that you can't borrow nor pay for if you are in His favor. Oh boy, we only got one.
I'm just looking back at the WhatsApp board and I see Just on Bills, that's the name I see there. Says Chelsea Football Club was sold and Roman 8 got $0 and Ukraine got $0. Hey, the question that I want to ask Just on Bills, who got the money from the sale? I would want to know that. That's important for me. I never knew about that, but please inform me now. Why not line the pipes Why not line the pipe? A viable and cost-effective proposition, but maybe something unknown prevents. Okay, the one a little bit above me, I understand the one there. I believe it's in relation to the repiping for APU the person is talking about.
Only got one life to live. So let we fight, only got one life to live. So live your life, live your life. Then I'm breathing the breath of life. And I'm down to the kind of blessing that you can't borrow no pay for. If you are in his favor, go boy. We only got one life to live. So take a drink, only got one life to live. So tea for white, only got one life to live. So let we fight, only got one life to live. So live your life, yeah.
Elaine and Dad's Joseph Consultancy. We consult on labor relation matters, insurance, business matters, and politics. P.O. Box 2287, Francis Lane, Yorks Village, St. John's, Antigua Barbuda. Our email address, it's elaineanddadsjoseph@gmail.com. Telephone numbers 776-0200 or 464-4201. Contact us. We are here for you.
From a little cottage in number 3 Casada Gardens hails Rags to Rugs. 100% handmade Antiguan interwoven rag rugs by J. Lissa Lewis. We have various sizes of floor rugs, decorative wall hanging rugs, and table mats, uniquely and sustainably handmade. To purchase, send us a message via WhatsApp at 268-770-8088 for directions to our physical location, or we can deliver to you anywhere on Antigua absolutely free. Like and follow us on Facebook at Rags to Rugs Antigua Made, on Instagram Rags to Rugs, or you can email us at ragstorugs@gmail.com. Don't forget, our rag rugs and table mats are machine washable and dryable. See you soon.
Studios located in the capital city of St. John's, Antigua in the Caribbean Sea.
Okay, stop that!
And our transmitter located at the highest point, Buggy Peak in the parish of St. Mary. This is ZDK Liberty Radio International, 97.1 FM, the People's Radio Station.
You all know how crafty and corrupt leaders can be, especially in this country where integrity is a fallacy and you don't care about unison. So you allow politicians to conquer and divide you and keep you in the party of confusion. You'll quote scriptures from the Bible when you find yourself in trouble. It's only when we decide to unite as one, we'll work to put an end to all wrongdoings in this nation. And we will see the need to gird our loins and join the battle and continue to struggle to live in peace where men are free. In a fair and Christian society, struggle to guide and protect our children and secure a brighter future for them. It's only when we unite as one, we'll end our problems. If we don't unite as one, we could never end our problems.
Sounds of the man Willie Wawa for 2023. This one he tagged, it's only when.
Our children's future.
Real talk in full swing. Right here on ZDK Liberty Radio. Hey, 97.1 FM.
Life is not
12 minutes after the 10 p.m. hour.
Growing rapidly, and there are no increases in salary. Children fighting in their school uniform. Parents, you are to be blamed. stop crying and hang your head in shame. It's only when we decide to unite as one, we'll work to put an end to all wrongdoings in this nation. And we will see the need to gird our loins and join the battle and continue to struggle to live in peace where men are free. In a fair and Christian society, struggle to guide and protect our children and secure a brighter future for them. It's only when we unite as one, we'll end our problems. If we don't unite as one, we could never end our problems. Tourism is our vital and main industry. Without the tourist dollar, we won't have a stable economy. Agriculture still in jeopardy. It is not a top priority. Teachers and nurses want better salaries. Even the police do a cry because cost of living so high. It's only when we decide to unite as one, we'll work to put an end to all wrongdoings in this nation. And we will see the need to gird our loins and join the battle and continue to struggle to live in peace where men are free. In a fair and Christian society, struggle to guide and protect our children and secure a brighter future for them. It's only when we unite as one, we'll end our problems. If we don't unite as one, we could never solve our problems.
Yes, that was the sound of the man Willie Wawa, one of his production for 2023. That one he tags, wasn't it? It's only when. Whenever never have quarterfinals and so I'm gonna try and get the calendar. The kind of a calendar so we know exactly what is happening. Earlier we were talking about water, April water, and tell you how the song go around the right side, man. And you hear me say play the song? I mean, you know.
2023, yeah. I saw wash out in Antigua. This is the great Antigua with the best economy they say in the world. So I'm the outside, I chop water for wash my kin. Like a 1960 and 61 and so. They say an economic powerhouse. Economic powerhouse and say. But a chop water vibes in the 2023. So all are you who love Gaston Brown, who love Labour Party. Remember, I saw a washout in Antigua in 2022. Outside.
Wait, what going here?
In a bucket. Because we're not getting no water. You understand? So all I who love Gaston Brown and Labour Party, you know about already? If this is what you enjoy, go on. Knock yourself out. high afternoon in Antigua and Barbuda. On the outside me there, see? This just like a, it is 1735.
What the world well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you take off your boxers. What the world okay. I mean, one day magic live in the cassette, clear all inside this still. Maybe they have a water problem up there. Maybe if you then the pipes and them need to change fast then. Oh, what the world Oh, play this here too? What this will be now?
Well, man, I may lose weight. My man just see me go and say, Weston, so this guy stand around shame, don't you get slim now? You're losing weight, man. Why you get slim now?
I want the world to talk now. Wait. Let me go back to this here.
Well, man, I may lose weight. My man just see me go and say, Weston, so this guy stand around shame, don't you get slim now? You're losing weight, man. Why you get slim now?
Hey, look. What's the thing? Okay. Alright. Wonder if I can see what's that. And if you come and talk and stuff. I want to see how much weight you lose. Maybe you can give me that, I take. Maybe we can see if we can lose some weight like that, because nobody ever throw me out there. Let's hope they go on, boy. Okay. What a thing. Why am I not seeing this thing now? There was some talk about, I'm not sure if the IMF have released the Article 4 consultation document relative to us. I know that there was some debate some time ago that the government wasn't happy with some of the things or maybe conclusions that they would have drawn, and they didn't give them the permission to publish. But I did hear there was something quoted as to the IMF was of the opinion that the economy would grow. I think it's 5.5%. I think it is. But somebody sent me this article for persons who might want to follow along. The web page is from CaribbeanNewsGlobal.com. That's the site. CaribbeanNewsGlobal.com. Sorry. And the article is entitled IMF Executive Board concludes 2022 Article 4 consultation in Antigua. Right? Again, IMF Executive Board concludes 2022 Article 4 consultation in Antigua. Person asked me to share it with the public, so let me just read it in its entirety. USA/Antigua. On November 30th, 2022, the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, concluded Article 4 consultation with Antigua and Barbuda and endorsed the staff's appraisal without a meeting on a lapse of time basis. Antigua and Barbuda's economy is on a gradual recovery path following a sharp contraction in real output of 20% in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Growth is estimated at 5.25% in 2021. Given, wait, what date on this article there, boy? Let me make sure, see. Okay, 31st of May 2023. All right. Growth is estimated at 5.25% in 2021. I'm just reading what I see there. Driven by a rebound in tourism and construction activity. Despite the surge in international energy prices, inflation was subdued in 2021 due to price controls on utilities, fuels, and public transportation. The fiscal position improved in 2021 with a narrowing of the primary deficit as pandemic-related spending was wound down by the tax administration and higher external grants bolstered revenues. The growth momentum is expected to carry into 2022 and 2023, with real GDP projected to expand by 6% and 5.5% respectively, supported by strong tourist arrivals, foreign direct investment in the hospitality sector, and public sector projects. Okay, so that's where the 5.5% comes from. However, output will return to pre-pandemic levels only by 2025 due to scarring effects of the pandemic. Inflation is forecasted to accelerate to 8.5% in 2022, reflecting the pass-through from higher global food and fuel prices, before moderating to 4.5% in 2023. For those unionists out there who are negotiating, these are some stats you might want to be mindful of. To cushion the impact of rising living costs on the vulnerable, the government introduced and targeted subsidies to the transport and fishing sectors to keep public transportation fares and seafood prices stable, and remove taxes on flour to maintain the rise in bread prices. All right, so that's what the government did. All people say that. Anyway, that's what that. Let me read over that. To cushion the impact of rising living costs on the vulnerable, the government introduced targeted subsidies to the transport and fishing sectors. Yes, I know about the one day. That way they taxi people then. They get some kind of voucher or something like that. To keep public transportation fares and seafood prices stable, and they removed taxes on flour to contain the rise in bread price. Continued fiscal consolidation efforts and the growth recovery have helped improve the fiscal position, but outturns underperform the targets envisioned in the government's medium-term fiscal strategy, while gross financing needs and arrears to domestic and external creditors remain high. Right? So, persons would understand what I was saying earlier in terms of the money that were being put to the national debt. Right? You see the IMF here now saying that the domestic and external creditors, the arrears to them, they remain high. Public debt peaked at 102% of GDP and is projected to decline to 91% of GDP in 2022. The financial system remains stable, but bank credit to the private sector is weak. Risks to the outlook are tilted to the downside, primarily from further commodity price shocks, a global growth slowdown, and resurgence of COVID, and tighter global financial conditions. Hold on there. Just go over that again. The financial system remains stable. Financial system remains stable, but bank credit to the private sector is weak. So the bank now lend the money to the private sector. Risks to the outlook are tilted to the downside, primarily from further commodity price shocks. That ever guess the pass-through mechanism where we're importing this inflation. A global growth slowdown, that's the global economy slowing down, a resurgence of COVID, we know that's going on, and tighter global financial conditions. Executive Board assessment. Antigua and Barbuda's economy is recovering, but facing headwinds from multiple external shocks. The rebound is supported by tourism and construction activity, but output is expected to return gradually to pre-pandemic levels by 2025. That's 2 years from now, or a year plus, reflecting scarring effects on the pandemic. Higher food prices and fuel prices are driving up inflation, eroding real income, and exacerbating fiscal and external imbalances. The external position in 2021 is weaker than the level implied by medium-term fundamentals and the driver policies. The outlook is subject to large downside risk, including further commodity price shocks and global growth slowdown, tighter global financial conditions, lower citizenship by investment program revenues. Okay. Revenues and natural disasters. Let me just continue. Yes. Near-term fiscal policy should continue to focus on protecting the vulnerable against rising living costs. That's the near-term. Short-term fiscal policy of the government should continue to focus on protecting the vulnerable against rising living costs. It will be important to implement a clear framework for coordination between different government entities responsible for social safety net programs to ensure efficient targeting and monitoring. Efficient targeting and monitoring. When I read this just now, my mind run to the, remember they had this thing with the what do I call it? Oh Lord, vouchers. Right. Sufficient resources should be allocated towards the completion and maintenance of the centralized beneficiary registry. Okay, there's such a registry. An automatic fuel pricing mechanism with full pass-through of international prices should be put in place in conjunction with targeted social protection programs, allowing the government to move away from generalized, untargeted subsidies. Okay, I guess they're saying that pass-through should fund these social programs. I guess that's what they're trying to say. Okay. Well, listen to the accountants then. Fiscal condition is underway, but additional revenue mobilization is needed to achieve the targets of the medium-term fiscal strategy. Right? So fiscal consolidation is underway, but additional revenue mobilization is needed to achieve the targets of the medium-term fiscal strategy. Achieving the original primary balance targets will require limiting tax exemptions, introducing new tax measures, and containing the wage bill. A public sector employment census and skills database will be essential as part of the long-term strategy to address the wage bill. That's the public wage bill, and I think somebody says that I think I heard that it's at $40 million a month. I think that's what I heard. Securing long-term financing and preventing the accumulation of new arrears are critical in an environment of tight financial conditions. The authority should maintain efforts to extend the maturity profile of their debt in the domestic and external markets in order to reduce rollover risks. There should be close engagement with creditors to put in place feasible strategies for clearing remaining arrears and new arrears should be avoided. Sustained progress on structural fiscal reforms will better institutionalize fiscal discipline. To build political consensus, the MTFS and fiscal resilience guidelines could be legislated by Parliament. To build political consensus. Okay, so they want to bring the opposition into the discussion. The authorities should move ahead with the operationalization of the Climate Resilience and Development Fund, Fiscal Resilience Oversight Committee, and single window system at customs. E-filing and e-payment of taxes should be put in place, and the amended Finance Administration Act and the Procurement Administration Act should be implemented. And how long them amendments is holding. They should be implemented. A performance report card system of SOEs should be introduced. A public fiscal management action plan should be developed based on the results of the recent public expenditure and financial accountability self-assessment. Further reforms are necessary to ensure the pension system's long-term sustainability. We'll go over that. Further reforms are necessary to ensure the pension system's long-term sustainability. These include gradual increase in the contribution rate and automatic adjustments to the retirement age in line with the increase of life expectancy at retirement. Furthermore, a revamped investment strategy will help address liquidity constraints and increase long-term returns. That's in relation to the Social Security Board. So they think that the 65 might have to be extended. Time will tell. Time will tell. Continued efforts to safeguard financial stability and strengthen AML/CFT and CIP frameworks are essential. Asset quality and provisioning buffers of financial institutions should be monitored closely. A national crisis management plan should be formulated in collaboration with the ECCB to address potential risk to the financial system. Ongoing initiatives to strengthen the AML/CFT and CIP framework will help protect correspondence banking relationships and strengthen the integrity of the CIP. Improving access to credit and strengthening the workings of the labor market would support the economic recovery. It will be important to increase the role of the Regional Credit Bureau and Partial Credit Guarantee Scheme in enhancing credit quality, accelerating the lending process, and alleviating collateral constraints to borrowers. The insolvency law should be modernized to help incentive lending. Okay. Labor market policies should emphasize training, vocational education, and skill certification, together with job search assistance to reintegrate workers into the labor force. Building resilience to climate shocks and accelerating the transition to renewables will boost long-term competitiveness. The acceleration to the transmission of renewables, transition to renewables. Okay, well then they mustn't hear how just get. Anyway, we'll leave that there. The government efforts to leverage donor resources and other international financing for climate resilience projects are crucial, given the large investment needs and limited fiscal space. shifting to renewables, supported by private sector financing, would reduce energy costs and improve competitiveness. And that is the end of the document. As I said, the document is dated where is it? Where's the date? Oh. The 31st of May 2023, and it is captioned IMF Executive Board concludes 2022 Article 4 consultation with Antigua Barbuda. Persons who might want to see that, they could go on and have a read for themselves. You can go have a read for yourself, and you can see exactly what is happening. Wow. Quite interesting. Quite interesting if you ask me. In relation to that article there. I was looking for an audio that I could have or I would have shared, but I wasn't able to find that article there. So let us wait and watch and see. How would that go? Somebody just WhatsApp me. Who did we get the grants from? That's a good question. I'm not sure if the grants were in relation to COVID or what, but I would want to believe that wouldn't these grants have been captured within the budget document that was presented to the Parliament? No, I think they would have just given a figure, grant or something, and they would have just given a figure. I don't think it would say that where we got it from. But that information should be within the government. That information should be within the government. I believe. I don't think I'm wrong. I'm wrong with that. But this is a pretty interesting read. Pretty interesting read if you ask me. Pretty interesting read. Full is comprehensive, not one side or the next. They just give us the figures. I think that's a good thing. I'm going to save this document here and study it a little more. Yeah, I think that's important. Time in studio 10:41 p.m. on a Saturday night. You know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to weave in some of the 2023 music into the program for tonight. I think that I played one earlier with Talia. I think the one was Brockway. I think that's the name of the one that she had there. This one here, she tags. Oh no, wrong. It's a good thing. This one here, she tags. If you love this land. Let's take a listen.
Not about corruption that I see.
Let me say good night to the man, Too Cool. Hey, big up yourself, Too Cool.
I do find it most peculiar that many live here in Antigua. They choose to live here to be happy. Some spread news that cause injury to the reputation of this country. My little progressive democracy. My island should not be blamed the way it's being defamed. So stop all this bad mouthing. For goodness sake, don't you see my nation's pride it is at stake. Once we look for some good and positive, we will find a better way to live. So if you truly love this life, loyalty you must understand. Stop and think about the common man. Pride you must demonstrate. In this island have some faith. No wait the time to speculate. Show more compassion. No time for hate. For the good and upliftment of our state. All leaders must show integrity to teach respect continuously. Whether poor or weak, whether you rich or strong. If you truly love this.
Hello, good night, caller. Hello, good night, caller. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm not hearing you clearly. Hello? Hello?
You hear me now?
No, it sounds like in a building. Move your position a little bit and let me see if I can hear you better. Sorry?
Yeah, 1 minute. You hear me now?
Yes, much better.
All right. If tomorrow morning you wake up and be the Prime Minister, what will be input about the IMF?
What would be
your input towards the IMF, like borrowing money and so on and so on?
If I was the Prime Minister tomorrow morning,
Yes, yeah.
the first thing I would do is that I would review my collection machinery. That's the first thing would be on my priority list.
Okay. The next question I ask you, what would you do if you're in a position that you have a problem with your collection machinery and you have to go to the IMF? Would you go to the IMF? Would you look to other source? So on and so on.
I can't tell you what I'll do until I know how my recovery be.
Why? You know something? You know something I said to you as a person?
Huh?
You know the reason why I asked you these questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, I said this to you. The reason why I asked you this question, you know, everybody said, I think the IMF, for me, as a person, Antiguans and Barbudas and living here, for me, if I was a politician, my last resource would be the IMF. You know why? I can give you a reason why I'm saying these things. First, to me, personally, the IMF is a little dictator. Number one, the IMF is going to say you have to do some retrenchment. You might have to lose some of your employment. As you know, as we know, this is not a secret for anyone. We know these things. This is not no secret. Like say, well, it's something that's hidden. You're going to talk about retrenchment. And Antigua, we would get a hard blow in retrenchment.
You get a hard what?
We will get a hard blow if we have to retrench. And we're in the position to retrench. Because some of these jobs that some people have, you would have to take some people out. Because if you look around, or if you look to yourself, we need to look to other sources. We need to think about create some jobs, some more jobs.
How would you suggest those jobs be created?
One, start to think about invest in your people so that they can employ other people.
What does invest in your people mean?
Number one, our people can have their own business so they can employ other people. You understand? Number two, we as people need to merge to have other business or bigger business so we can employ other people. And we as Antiguans and Barbudans, we are scared people. We are scared to merge, which we not. If tomorrow morning I wake up and say, Beef, I have $1 million, you have $1 million, let's put it together and open a business. You know, it would be a hullabaloo.
Why would it be?
It's a slavery thing.
It's a what?
It's a slavery thing.
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree with me?
No.
You know why I say it's a slavery thing?
I know why I don't agree with you. Let me tell you why I don't agree with you. The problem, we have this saying around this country that partnership is leadership. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case now. If me and you go into a business, right? Me, your friends. Mm-hmm. You know what we don't, most of the time what we don't do, we don't concretize what our agreement is in writing before going into the business.
You have a point with that?
Because we're friends. But if you do that, and then when an evil problem step up, that you know how it's going to go. That's all the problem.
Yeah, but this, let's look around. Let me count some business. You have April, you have Ryan, you have Bargain Center what they want that gone out the drain. You have Veg. Let's look around and see the real business in Antigua and Barbuda. They're minority.
No, but we're minority for a reason. We're minority. The reason why we're minority is that you just said it. We don't like to come together.
I just say to you, that's what I'm
just saying to you, us not coming together is our ignorance. That's the point I'm making. Our not coming together is our individual ignorance. Because if we come together and we say, look, I have a piece of land that I will invest in the business, right? This is the value of the land.
Yes.
This gives me X amount of shares.
Yes.
And we know how the profit go. If there's a profit, we know how the loss go. There's a loss. Yes. We don't formalize them kind of things by and far.
But you know something, Beef. I say this to you, and sometimes we cost the Syrians. We might as well cost maybe a Ghanaian or cost a Jamaican, but they're more together than us, and don't fool us with it. You might see them talking down for one another, but when they have to come to the plate to do things, they will do it together. I don't know the reason.
It could very well be because they're in a foreign land.
Well, beef. I say this to you. I live in foreign land before, and when I go to foreign land, you know what I do? I work my butt off because I want to go back home to enjoy my wealth back where I come from.
But that is just what I'm saying to you. Maybe these people come together, form themselves together, work hard because they're in a foreign land. Maybe they would not apply themselves like that home where they are.
Yeah, but Beef, it's time enough for us to start to think that way too. Not say this is not the time for us to want things.
Hey, look, my friend, let me tell you this, right? Let me just tell you this. And many really had a time for the run round, right? And what I'm going to say to you here is not red, blue, orange, green, or whatever we call this here. I'm just telling you as I see it, right? Leadership, the leadership in your country in relation to developing the people matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That leadership must have a vision for the country 50 years from now. And the policies that they put in place, etc., is geared towards meeting that vision. We hear, if you're a history of student, if you're a student of history, I'm not sure how old you are, but we would have heard the tapes of V.C. Bird, for instance, wanting to get colored people, black people in the banks. And he recognized that he needed to get some children pass some subjects, etc. Money came for one project. He said, you know what? No, I'll put it in this project. So that when we put it in this project and we're successful here, and they're going to take the exam and they pass, where you come and tell them they can't go in the bank? The point I'm making is he had a vision. And he worked to that vision. Right? Regardless to who run this country. If that is not a continuous thing, we are always going to remain where we are. One of the good things of being on these shows, in addition to disseminating information, you learn a lot. I can talk for me. And I learned one time I did an interview. I always talk about an interview. It was 3 people, Nick Hadid and 2 other people. I remember the name Nick, but there were 2 other persons with him, right? And they were, I don't know if they were a board or something like that, but they were running the technical center on Nugent Avenue. And that's when I learned that the technical center was then under education, right? And at the time, persons were coming in here with skill certificate and getting work. And if me a lie based on what they tell me on the program publicly. They don't even have budget up there.
Okay.
So we're taking people into this country because I'll go off, when we say we may talk about our government go off and sign on these things that if you do mechanic in a, but I'll call the name of country, but any country, and they come here with a skill certificate, they can work. But the mechanic in Antigua can't get one.
Yeah, but I'm just about to go back to that.
You hear me tell you? So I'm telling you, even though individually we have a part to play, if there's not that vision, one, and if there is not the avenue set up to achieve that vision, we ain't going no place. And boss, see some things. I have had the pleasure of being in certain meetings, etc. And I have seen certain things, and I see things differently.
Yeah, but the question is, I want to ask you this question: when we are going to come together?
When? It start with you.
It already started with me, so I am talking. Okay, okay. Listen this. Let's be ready. Okay, I am ready together.
You're already together.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready. I already rolled up my carpet.
You roll out together. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you the question this way. In whatever you're into, because I don't know who I'm speaking to. Whatever world you're into, whatever you're into, you know, in terms of what work you do. How many Antiguans do you employ?
Well, at this present moment, I don't employ Antiguans, but I invest my money in a way.
Yeah. You don't.
I am contributing to Antigua in sense.
You're contributing to Antigua how?
I contribute into Antigua in other ways.
So you don't employ anybody. You don't have a company or nothing like that.
No, not now.
And you okay. You know what? Let me leave that. Let me not go no deep in the business. But the point that I wanted to make was right. We need a lot of people. We need a lot of people to be examples now. That the children coming up can look to and say, you know, me like to be like he now.
Well, I must say this to you. In my neighborhood where I live, I have a lot of respect for the youth.
You have a lot of respect for who?
The youth respect me.
The youth. Okay.
And they call me out a name. When they call me out a name that I sometimes I don't want to answer to. Because I'm not that powerful. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I can only take your word for it because I don't know who I'm speaking
No,
with.
I am serious. I am serious. I love youth. When I used to work for a company, and I could tell you this much. I work for a company, and when I was working for the company, I see a lot of young people who was working for the company, and they were lackadaisical, and I pull them up to where they want to go. I can walk with my head high in my feet like this. I can be a broke man tomorrow, and I would never ever suffer. I can tell you this much. Never ever suffer, because the things that I already put forward. Today, yesterday, a couple of days I walk into a place, and if you see these people are greeting me, I just laugh. Because for what I already done to Antigua and Barbuda. Hello?
No, I'm listening to you.
I am telling you, I love young people, and I like to see young people go to the top. Because I'm not here to keep down anyone. I want to see the best of young people, and I want to see the best of Antigua and Barbuda. I am not for politicians. I am for country. I don't care who the politician is. I am country first, and then the others can add. Anyway, nice talking to you. That's my 2 cents for the night. Good night.
Hey, thanks much, my friend.
All right.
Alright. Time in studio. Whoa, 11 p.m.
I laugh till I sweat when I hear what he did to the English language. Father, help me, please. I weaken my knees when he say they call this thing taxi English. When I sit and listen, this literal development and the way he replaced all his vowels with consonants, the past become participle. The language is incorrect. Instead of talking English, he's singing with dialect. So hear what taxi tell tourists. Turn left, right, and go straight up. That's directions to English power. Come up some, and then turn there. That will carry you right down along bit. Come up here, and then turn so. That will take you by cousin Fado. If you think attacking tripping is, I tell you that's taxi English and I like.
Hey, Sons of the Man. Hey, King Singing Son. This one he tags. Hey, Taxi English.
Tell me, sudden come see the way that taxi relates to tourists. I tell Squabolo, nothing tall can go so. But his words, it convince both judge and jurist. When I sit and ponder the way that taxi relates, look, I nearly forgotten the speed that tourists translate. Instead of talking, he's singing the dialect that's pure and frank. Instead of English, my friend taxi does yank. So hear what taxi tell tourists. Come and carry you a fries, mate. The water is real nice down there.
Let me just say thank you to those persons who called.
That's in Asia, not too far from here.
Also to those persons who WhatsApp. Hey, thank you for staying the course with me tonight.
If you think attacking trippiness.
Hey, to the silent majority. Hey, those who are just going to listen. They're not gonna call, not gonna WhatsApp. Hey, but they're just listening. Hey, thank you for staying the course. Hey, God's willing. Hey, I should be back next week, Saturday. Remember, hey, please try and keep us safe as possible. I know tonight is one of the major fetes.
We understand.
Hey, lots of liquor. If you're going to be drinking, please
know about that.
Make sure you get a designated driver, or make sure you have a designated driver.
When I sit and listen, the way that taxi speaking.
Hey, for the ladies who reside alone, burn the little extra electricity. Your security is priority number one. And remember,
That's pure and true.
hey, to keep the Almighty God as your guide. Hey, because with Him in your boat, you can certainly smile at the storm.
That will take you to fight and belong.
And never ever forget.
And they go shit that.
Hey, once God brings you to it,
go further down.
He certainly will bring you through it.
Right, a bitch limer. You may think attacking choppiness, but I tell you that's the English and I lie.
The man sorted.
Went Heritage King to follow taxi, just to wave goodbye to some of his tourists. I was put in shock. You may ask me what? It's the way that taxi relate to tourists. When I sit and listen, the way the tourists talking, like them get infected with the way that taxi speaking. Instead of talking the English, you best believe me, it's true. No tourists talking the same way that taxi do. So hear what tourists tell taxi. Turn left, right, and go church. That's directions to English Harbor. Come up so and then turn there. That will take you right up along me. Come up your hand and turn so. This will take you my cousin farther. If you think we're talking choppiness, man, I tell you that's taxi English and I like.
Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Hey, but I think I wanna go for the one for King Fire. This one, he tags what we call it, Carnival Train for 2023. Hey, take care, everybody.
Hearing the sound, the rumble in town. Toot toot, toot toot. The look on your face, you're ready to chase. Toot toot, toot toot. The carnival train is coming again, and everybody happy. Toot toot. The party starts, the place gets hot, they showing off. Toot toot, toot toot. Come ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. The train driver, hot like fire. Aye, 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 yo, yo. Who playing boss? Just back up. Calypso, the engine is run. The carnival train. Come play mass, Peter Pan, sing a song, hitch a ride, take a wine. Whatever it costs, look, it's a lot. Toot toot, toot toot. Busting a sweat in every fete. Toot toot, toot toot. Just stay in your lane, whatever your game, you find it in the party. Toot toot. If you in a haste, hurry, make waste. We call in security. Oh, toot toot. Come ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. Come take a ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. The train driver, hot like fire. Aye, 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 yo, yo. Who playing boss? Just back up. Calypso, the engine is run. The carnival train. Come play mass, Peter Pan, sing a song, hitch a ride, take a stay on your feet. Remember to eat. Toot toot, toot toot. Be making a stop. Pick up a big pot. Toot toot, toot soon. The flour passy, brownie bakery, with bread to feed an army. A toot toot. The favorite vendor, she round the corner. She can't, she fish water. Come ride the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. The train driver, hot like fire. Aye, 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 yo, yo. If you see Cassie boss, tell him back up. Calypso the rhythm is run. The carnival train. Come play mass. Bubbling, 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 bubbling. Toot, toot, so now that we yam, a jam we go jam. Toot, 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 toot. Everybody sweet, tooting on the street. Toot, 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 toot. We going around, recreation ground. Now play the passage. Toot, toot. When we get inside, we go turn up the vibe. Turn up, mash up the place. Toot, toot. Come ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. Take a ride on the carnival train. Come take a ride on the carnival train. Look, sweet Maria, hot like pepper. Ay, 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 yo, yo. Finally she boss, if she time up. Calypso the music run. The carnival train. Come play mass, eat a pan, sing a song, hitch a ride, take a wife.
Studios located in the capital city of St. John's, Antigua in the Caribbean Sea.
Okay, stop there.
And our transmitter located at the highest point, Bobby Peak in the parish of St. Mary. This is ZDK Liberty Radio International 97.1 FM, the People's Radio Station.